Live. So I stare at the screen. I'm like, live. So happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday, Marina.
Happy Monday, Kate.
Happy Monday. It's another Monday. We are live. Put my phone off. We are live on Kate Carney UK page, YouTube. Oh, it finally is announced. YouTube, Marketing SOS page, and on the website. So hello. So good morning if you are joining us and watching. Welcome to You Are My Final business owner interview during June, with a few shifted into July. You are my final. What a finale.
Perfect.
Hi, good morning, Sarah. So Marina Beach, soul alchemist. Now you are pretty social. You are pretty visible when it comes to the different groups and things. So some people might know you, but for those that don't, just introduce yourself for us, please, and give us that little headshot of what soul alchemist. What is this?
Yeah, what the hell is that? Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Okay, so so I'm a spiritual business owner. So I'm a spiritual intuitive. I am a channel. I'm a spiritual teacher, and I use a variety of tools. Very much kind of working with, I guess, a client's soul. So that's why I'm a soul alchemist. And an alchemist is somebody that can create change. Obviously, that is in conjunction with the client, and not just me doing kind of any hocus pocus or kind of stuff like that. So soul alchemy is really about transformation. It's about creating change for the client, or guiding the client to create the change. But I work with energy. So I'm kind of an energy healer, I suppose. I'm an intuitive, so I work with my guides. I work with the client's guides, and I work in the Akashic Records. That's where all of my work is done. So that's if you're not sure what the Akashic Records were.
No, let's go with a general no, because it sounds to me like you're saying cash records, which is something my accountant would want from me. Spell it for me, Marina, because I'm going to write it on the page.
It's the Akashic. So it's AK. ASHIC. Akashic Records.
Okay.
And
I'm going to put that on the screen, so you can tell us what Akashic
Records. So I had no idea what these were until about 4 years ago, when I received my own healing in my own Akashic Records, and then that's kind of like what's set me off on my journey. So the Akashic Records are like an energetic database that record every single choice, consequence, action, thought, feeling that every soul has. And they're scientifically proven. They're not a recent thing. They are mentioned in the Bible. They're known around the globe in all cultures. They're known as the Book of Life, the Book of Souls, and they are huge. Energetically, scientifically, they've been proven to exist, and they are obviously getting bigger and bigger because there's more people being added to these, and we're making more and more choices and consequences. And they record every lifetime. Now, you might not believe in past lives and reincarnation, and that's fine, but it is said that they also record every single lifetime that you had. So they're absolutely huge.
Oh, the lifetime that we had, the individual, the past lifetime of an individual. Okay, I'm really like, my friend calls me quite intuitive, and then she calls me curious. She calls me Ashley's probably going to come on, something curious, and she always says you skirt around it, Kate. You're curious in that space, as you know. Okay, so Akashic Records, getting to record past life, so my past life, and
present life as well. So every choice that we make is being recorded. So, and if you think about the future, because the future is also, we can influence the recording that is placed in the Akashic Records by the choices that we make. But we have an unlimited amount of choices. So if I kind of am looking at you, what I choose to say next is a choice, but I could have picked a load of other choices. So we're constantly writing our Akashic Record, but I connect in with the Akashic Records for my clients to look mainly at past life stuff and the karmic, negative karmic blocks that are holding them back in this present lifetime, because we still have patterns of choice. And, you know, we might have people that we constantly attract into our life, or we constantly have financial difficulties, or things are just a struggle all the time and we can't seem to get out the cycle. There's probably something in the past that has been, you know, we've done in the past that is still affecting today. And that's what I look at. And that's what I energetically clear for my clients to then allow them to step into, you know, the life that they actually want to live, basically. So it's amazing. It's an amazing tool, and we can all access our own Akashic records.
I mean, can we? This is like,
absolutely can.
Yeah. So a client will. Why will a client come to you? What's the? Talk us through why they come, and then give me an example of what you do and how long it lasts and that sort of thing. So what's the reason why they might join with you?
So usually they feel blocked in some way, or they've got to a certain point of, say, up leveling their business, and they just can't seem to get past that. Or they've recognised that there's aspects of their life that they want to heal. They just can't seem to get past, you know, some trauma that happened maybe in their childhood. Thing. So what I do is I'll support my clients with usually a soul realignment session. That's what it's called. It's a 2-hour session where I feed back. I've done all my work before the session, so it's really about then the client learning who they are at soul level. So it's definitely a reading of two halves, because we have to understand how we've been created as well. Once we're in alignment with that, life kind of, we live more in flow when we do kind of create more of abundance and that type of thing. But we also then look at the karmic patterns and the things that are holding that person back. And it's very much set on intention. So I always get the client's intention for the next 6 months, what they want to actively change. And then that really governs the karmic blocks and things that I find in the Akashic records ready to present to the client. And then at the end of the session, I activate the clearing, and then the client goes home with a 21-day invocation, which is a smaller version of that. And that's really about getting the ego and the subconscious mind on board, because our ego really wants to not allow us to step into something new. It likes to keep us safe. So it's really to kind of support the mind, while the soul and kind of, you know, whilst we're physically doing the action, but our soul and everything else has been energetically cleared. So it's very powerful work. I do a number of different types of things, and each one is very unique, really, because everybody's coming to me with different things, and everybody has different intentions. So it's beautiful work that's very tailored, but I absolutely love it because I see a lot of really amazing results.
So those clients are coming from a business background, a personal circumstances background.
Oh, absolutely.
And are they recognizing something in themselves? You know, because there are different people in different parts in business that will do mentoring, coaching, consultancy, you know, mindset work. You know, there's a spectrum of people that will claim in different ways to help you move forward.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So do your clients, well, I'm going to say presumably they need to recognize something in, like, being curious, or something in you, and something in, and make that connection, because it's not quite as black and white as add £1 to another pound and you get £2, and then you spend less, you reduce your costs and you make more money. So they recognize something in themselves, do they? How do you do that? Like, how do you see that in them? Or I'm so curious. You could tell.
Yeah. That's why it's important for me to be quite visible, especially on social media, because I need people to connect with my energy, and they'll know if I'm the right person to support them. And if I'm not, then hopefully I can point them in the right direction to kind of help them. But it's through me, I guess, my energy, explaining how the Akashic records work, what the results can be, testimonials, and people, quite a lot of people have already been on their path for a while. They've been doing their stuff. They might perhaps do their own stuff. They might be in spiritual business themselves, but they can't seem to get to the root of something. And it's just having a fresh pair of eyes, I think, and doing it in a different way is what kind of just clears, I guess, the root cause of it, because we have to get to the root. We can do things here, and we can recognize that certain past things that have gone in our childhood or whatever has kind of, created a story that we've kind of really bought into that's not, that doesn't help us anymore. But actually that story might have been rooted 20 lifetimes ago, and we're just repeating a pattern. So being able to get to the root is much more effective.
So you mentioned there the people who might come to you for support and guidance and such like that, they might have a spiritual business themselves. So do you work with people who are, and I'm going to say these ways, like you, who work in, and excuse the naivety, who work in this space, other business owners?
I would say the majority of my clients are already spiritually awoken, have their spiritual business, or just very much emerging on their path, and they're curious.
Like a little curious.
Well, I do work because our business has its own Akashic records as well. So that's what I'm exploring, and that's what I've been doing some business work, and I'm creating a business program at the moment, which is going to support clients, female entrepreneurs, to go into their own Akashic records to heal the business, because records has its own, it has its own Akashic records. So it's going to be a 15-week journey that's going to be launched in September, and it's going to be amazing. I can't wait.
Wow, how the whole concept of a business having its own Akashic records is kind of mind-blowing. I'm really curious and excited to see what you put out there in September. So most of your clients, a lot of them have their own spiritual based journey, a business, or on the start of their path. So I'm really curious now. Obviously, the past 6 months, let's go with 6 months now, have been weird. And have affected people differently, have affected people's businesses very differently, have affected global corporates in all different ways. What has COVID done to your business and to your clients?
Well, it's, for me personally, it's got me it's allowed me to be incredibly visible, incredibly supportive, and I've had my best 3 months ever. I mean, April was my peak month so far this year.
Wow.
Which is amazing. It's allowed me to step away from a part-time job, which I'm delighted about. So I'm now full-time in my spiritual business.
Yeah. Yay, congratulations.
And what it did do, actually, it got me to, I know the kind of the buzzword at the time was pivot. So I pivoted some of my my offerings, which really worked, to offer something that was more I used to do it like a 12-month tarot session with healing, which is quite unique. Not many people do it with healing as well. And I turned it into a 3-month empowerment tarot session, and that has kind of really grown. And it's just, and that was an amazing way for me to allow people to work with me at a really quite a low price, but then usually they then step into a soul realignment session and something a lot deeper. So it was great. And I had quite a lot of people still going on to my 3-month program, which is a 1-to-1 3-month soul activation program. So I've had quite a number of people there, and the people that I'm drawing, either people, actually all 3 services that I offer have all been very successful through this whole time, and it's been a real mix of people, again, just wanting a little bit of clarity and guidance and a little bit of healing, to kind of people that are really looking for transformational change, and they're still working. So there was and I've had quite a few NHS people come to me, actually. Which was interesting. So all walks of life still coming.
So Paulina said, amazing that you were able to become full time. I'm going to say on that, it's brilliant. It's not amazing because, Marina, you've been kicking around on social media, and I've seen you for the past year, or certainly the past year. And actually, so it's fantastic that you're able to step away if you wanted to, of course, that other piece of work. But this is just testament to the consistent visibility that you have, how you put that work in, create products and packages, understand the audience, very super clear on what your offering is. And then the nation, the globe, has hit a point where people are looking for reassurance, people are challenging themselves, people are looking for answers, people have more time, from from a purely kind of marketing business perspective, they're going, should I pivot? Should I do something different? Should I rebadge and relabel what I've already got? What do I do there? But we've also got, and I talked about it a bit on an interview with the Cat Radio the other week, the first time ever I've been talking a bit about your mindset associated with business. So I can only imagine the extent to which, well, we know because it's turned you full time, people are coming to you to have that clarity, that guidance, that reassurance, that unveiling of what was before. So well done. I mean, people always saying there's no money in the COVID, people aren't spending money. They are spending money. They are spending money on services that they really feel that they really need, and they're just making sensible and careful decisions. So it's still there. And so this has given you then the platform to create something that you're launching in September, 15-week program.
Yeah, and to be honest, this has been on my to-do list, my intention list since last January. So this is, I mean, when I launch, it's almost going to be like a bit of a dream come true. So,
right.
But I've needed to be in the right place. I've also had to work on and I still am working on my mindset around it. So it's really important to recognize that we do have to continually, even people in the spiritual business are constantly doing their own healing, their own reflection, because that's how we expand, that's how we grow. We have to realize that once we've done one bit of work, it doesn't stop there. It's a continual journey. And as we up level, as we know, there's always a new devil. So kind of what has kind of held us back before will then come, resurface, and it'll be bigger and better. So we have to constantly work on that as well. So I've been personally working on some mindset and belief stuff around this program, which I've kind of come through, but I know there will be more to come before I launch.
So Kat, are you spending time looking at your own Akashic? I was thinking I had to pronounce it. Akashic record. Do you do that on a regular basis?
Yeah, because that's how I've created the program. I've actually gone into my own business, Akashic Records, to create the program. So that is really supporting me, that whole access and that journey. So that's what I'll be teaching, as well as kind of really going, really looking at visibility for the client, looking at how they view themselves, what their self-worth is like, self-image. Their visibility, also looking what their soul gift is, because that's really important in terms of, are we using it in our business? So I will reveal what your soul gifts are to kind of really support that. And then I'll be looking at wealth blocks. What are our money blocks? What are we doing to repel money? Because there will be a lot of stuff in the Akashic record around that. So
my life.
It's all part of the program.
So who do you think, so this is coming in September, who do you think, if you could talk to your ideal customer for this program, who would that be? Where are they at in their business journey? Are they new starters? Are they in their business for a while? Is it purely business, this program, or do you give them tools that they can use personally? Who's the person that you want on this program?
Well, actually, they could use these tools personally, but it is very much not spiritual. It's business entrepreneurs, female, very much heart-led, probably looking at around maybe 35 to 45. So I'm anticipating people that have been into business for a little while, and it's really about helping them to up level to the next level of success, because it's the Akashic Business Activator, healing your business to up level for the next level of success. So that's kind of the transformation that we're looking for. So I would say probably been in business at least 2 years. They've just got to a level, they're ready for, to expand, but it's just not happening for them. Or they might have been in business a long time, and there's just maybe some reoccurring things that are just holding them back from kind of maybe really going visible, trying, something new. And that's kind of who we're looking at. And I think this is, sorry, go on.
No.
Also clients that maybe or female entrepreneurs that are maybe starting to fall out of love with their business, because it's very much about managing your energy as well. That's a whole part of the program, as well as how well you manage your energy and igniting that passion and stuff.
And I can certainly relate to that. You know, I've got a few things going on, and it's really hard to maintain that energy and passion consistently, and be able to, you know, I have to turn it on. You know, I've got a meeting this afternoon. I won't say with what and who and about what, in a different world to this, but I have to turn it on, and I'm going to have to get with my head in the space, because it's an opportunity meeting that they've approached me about, and I'm going to have to go, right, Kate, fire this up and reconnect to, you know, talk a lot about what your purpose is and what you're passionate about. I'm going to have to really reconnect to that and tell myself some stories and remind myself of some things. And I think what's really interesting about what you do is, you know, I've done my research, right? Competitors and other people in my sort of space. There's a lot of it, you know, there's a lot of us kicking around. And I've spoken to several, and they've gone, you kind of already do what I would do with you. You know, you whatever you would come to me for in doing research, you're already doing it, right?
Yeah.
I do not have that situation with you. You are doing something that I would never ever think to do. And I think it's that makes me curious. And I think that will appeal to a lot of people, because other stuff there's a lot of the same sort of stuff around. There's a lot of this, you know, whereas actually what I love about you, Marina, is you are like, this is my space, this is what I do, and I'm doing this, and I'm not trying to do your thing over there. I am doing my thing. And I think that's going to appeal to a lot of people. So watch this space for September. I am a little bit curious about it. But then part of me goes, Kate, don't do something else. But this is very interesting. So how do people, let me put your social links on here, Marina. How do you start a conversation with a client? Do they have a little chat with you? Is it a webinar? What's the entry point for someone to learn more about your services and more about how they can work with you?
Usually people are following me on my page, or in my group, on my Facebook group, or they might be following me on Instagram. Or they might connect through my website, but it's usually social media that I'm kind of connecting with people.
What link do you want me to put on the screen so people can have a look at that?
Okay, so if you do the Facebook link, it's Marina Beach Soul Alchemist.
Marina Beach Soul ALCHEMIST.
Yeah.
Marina Beach Soul ALCHEMIST. Put that one on there. Marina Beach Soul Alchemist. Okay, so people can go onto your page, have a little look at you, undoubtedly have a little chat should they want to. If their curiosity has been sparked and spiked, they can come and have a chat with you. Is there anything else that we need to know about you, Marina, before we end our chat?
Well, you did mention about intuition. So
we did. Yes, please do.
Okay, so one of the things that I will be kind of exploring and kind of looking at in the program, and actually I was on my live this morning on Facebook, we were talking about intuition. So what I would suggest, if you're not using your intuition at the moment in your business, then if you can make a conscious decision to start, it's really, really useful, because what it ultimately does is it saves you time, it saves you energy, and it can save you money. But it's about being able to take that time and be open-minded about it, being curious, and really to start to learn to connect with your intuition. So your intuition is, some people would say it's like your gut instinct. Now, I don't tend to feel my gut instinct. For me, it's more of a sense of knowing. There is different types of intuition, but I think that's probably the most common, is where you feel it in your body and it's kind of like, oh, that feels right, or it feels wrong, or it's just a sense of knowing that, yeah, that feels good for me, or it doesn't. The more that we can connect with our intuition, as I say, you're going to get more intuitive guidance, more aligned action that will support you every week. So you could make a point every Monday, for instance, just really sitting quietly, and you can kind of take a few deep breaths. You can maybe go and find a little meditation or something on YouTube, or you can go and watch my Facebook page this morning. That's got a little video there. And it's really just kind of asking, and you've really got to kind of like listen very, very, very intently to what your intuition is saying. So what I normally do is I ask to connect with my intuition once I've kind of really got nice and chilled. Ask for my intuition to step forward, and then I just ask a simple question: what is the most intuitive action I can take this week? And just listen. Now, if the voice that you hear or the sense that you have seems quite shouty and loud, that's your ego. So your ego needs to leave the room. So what I normally then do is say, ego, can you please step aside? And unfortunately, I do tend to vision my ego as a bloke, and I'm shoving him out of the way. So then your ego has to leave. So just know that if you've asked your ego to kind of depart the room, the ego will do that. So then when you listen to your intuition again, your intuition is normally a lot softer, normally a lot quieter, and maybe only give you 1 or 2 words. That's okay. Just listen to what intuitive action is. And the more you practice this, it's a muscle. We're not kind of just, all kind of instant psychics and intuitives and things like that. It is something you have to really work at, the same as you would as working out in the gym. So it's kind of really set in 5 minutes. It only needs to take 5 minutes, but it's about going within, just to a really nice, peaceful place, and just asking, what is the most intuitive action I can take this week? And listen and write it down. If it sounds daft or kind of like doesn't relate to anything that you had planned that week, still honor that intuitive action, because the more that you honor it or maybe do the action, the more you're building up the trust, because you will see the results. And it's amazing of the things that our intuition can tell us, but actually the synchronicity that then comes. So, kind of being asked to go and get a bottle of milk from the shop, it's kind of, well, what's that all about? And then you go to the shop, you get your milk, and then you bump into somebody, and it creates a new connection, a new opportunity. So it's that kind of thing that you can never plan. Your ego can't plan that, but your ego will try and stop you, from stepping into that. So just doing a really simple exercise like that can save you a lot of time and money. And you could do that daily or you can do it weekly, but just try it out and just see what changes and what things come into your business, and what opportunities arise from just from using your intuition, because we have our intuition. It's just very much turned off. The older we get, we start to kind of turn it off.
That is so interesting that you just said, articulated all that. Because I'm thinking about, I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk, but I've used intuition in terms of, I talk about innovation behaviors and idea generation. And I class myself quite confidently as pretty intuitive, and things happen a lot of the time. It's quite weird. Things happen quite a lot of the time. I've said this to my friend Ashley, and she's connected me to somebody else. And actually, but interestingly, the intuitive point about taking the time, I find myself quite a lot with clients doing that with the clients in the moment. So they're obviously often asking for my opinion on something, and I will look at them and I will look at something and I will go, this is not my resting bitch face. This is my just taking a moment face. This is me, just my thinking face. And actually, that's what I'm doing. I hadn't realized it, but that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, you're channeling there. That's channeling in the moment. Yeah, and using.
That's made me go. That's made me go shivering, because that happens all day.
You're an intuitive coach, so you can add that to your list of skills. You're an intuitive coach. You need to really sell that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that happens all day, Marina. All day. I do this for my own business. I do this for clients all day, and it's so weird. Sorry, everybody. I'm now going to a private session with Marina, but it's not weird. It's so interesting to hear you articulate it, because the kind of going off and taking some time out doesn't happen in my life. That won't surprise anybody to hear. That doesn't happen with the kids and the life and everything. But that kind of just going, something's not right. It's not right. It's not going to work. And the amount of times I get FaceTimed and clients go, just have a look at that logo for me, and I go, no, it's not right. Stack it. Just move it in. It's not right. It's just not right. And I know your point when you just said about the ego leaving the room. It is that quieter voice, and it is that feeling of, and this I've got quite a big meeting later on today, and Sam and I were talking about it last night, and he's like, what do you think it is? And I went, I just think it's this. And he was like, do you reckon? I was like, I just got a feeling. I think it's that. I just feel like it is. how interesting to hear you articulate it and actually reflect. And I bet a lot of people can do that. Is either start something new and start doing it, or look at their own practices and behaviors and think, do you know what, actually maybe I am doing a bit of that and not realizing it. And so being conscious of it. Oh, I've got all excited on the inside, Marina.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that, you know, you're excited on the inside because your soul is really happy now that you finally realize that you are intuitive and you're using it daily.
Yeah, I want to have a conversation with a couple of other people as well now. So that's really, really interesting and personally exciting. So thank you so much for that. And well reminded, we did say we talk about intuition. Yeah, I'm more like a bit like buzzy and exciting. So thank you for that. If anybody wants to get in touch with Marina, obviously you can see how engaging Marina is, and I've been watching Marina for a while now. So please do reach out to her. If you've got that little feeling inside you, then it's definitely worth having that conversation. Yeah, so thank you so much for that. Right then, so you know where Marina is. I won't see you all tomorrow. That's it. You're my final one. What a nice ending, Marina. Yay, what a nice ending to this month and a bit of interviews. So we will say goodbye to you, Marina. You stay there. We will say goodbye to you, everybody else. And we'll see you later on. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.